Welcome back. Today we are going to do some decoupaging with a little bit of an Easter flair to it. So just to get started, I have purchased some wooden eggs. I got these off Amazon. They're a nice size, regular size. The shininess hasn't presented a problem. We're starting to work on those. I'll show those in a minute. I have gotten a whole bunch of Easter napkins. I found most of these at like a TJ Maxx Home Goods or a Michael's. I have these guys. I have some tissue paper that we can use. Another darker set of napkins. I think these are a little too dark for my vision today, but really that's what I've got started. So the first thing I'm going to show you what I did is I took one of the eggs and I took this wrapping paper and I cut out individual butterflies. Let me pull them all here. They have slid it across. So I pulled out the individual elements to make it a little easier for adhering them, to make them a little bit smoother. I did use the carrot napkin on this one, and I left it whole, and it's pretty rough texture. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. But it feels haphazard, and I'm not sure I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on with this one. What I'm using is Mod Podge. I'm using the matte, not the gloss. You could use Elmer's school glue. It all does work, but I do like the consistency of that. I'm going to wet my brush down a little bit. And I'm going to use the lid as my holder. And what I have done is I'm going to try to find yellow, cover the white with the yellow bits. And switch out, make sure I don't have the same butterfly. The way I did it was just I painted the egg directly. I took my tissue paper. We're going to smooth around. This is where having your water comes in handy. I'm going to adjust a little bit. I have a glass of water here. I'm going to wet the tissue paper down, glue on top, smooth it out with my finger. Okay, I'm going to move to a new spot. Got a nice big spot and a big butterfly here. A little prep. I'm just trying to get maximum coverage here. But I did cut out some of the flowers from the pattern so that I can fill in the gaps where I need to. Dry spot. I have this. I'm going to do this little end, I think, here with this pink one. And then I'm going to set it aside, let it dry a little bit so that my fingers, which have a little bit of glue on them now and a little bit of moisture, so it's kind of sticky. And I don't want to pull up the damp butterflies that I've just put down. All right, so I'm going to move this guy because he's dry. I'm going to just rest him here for a minute. And then I'm going to move on to the next. So I'll get these back. We'll finish this guy up about 5 minutes as soon as that dries, just a smidge. The other thing that I've done is I've taken the whole napkin and I have put it on cardstock. I have 2 different ones here. This one didn't quite fit. I'm going to probably trim this down and use this as a soft journal cover. I also have some tags as well as the paper that we've already done. So let's open up a napkin. We'll show I'll show you how it adheres straight out of the gate. Let me find my scissors. Alrighty, found them. We're back. So I'm just going to cut these open, just making a slit along the top because I want to kind of keep them in the packaging. Otherwise, they're going to be loose and wild all over. So you can always look and see how many ply. Most of them are 3. It usually does tell you that the number. And that's important when we peel them. So we're going to open it up. And all we want is the top layer. So we're going to take them off. And usually the first one comes off pretty easy. We just remove that. And then second ones are usually a little more stuck on it. And what works well is get a piece of Scotch tape and just put it down on there. And then you peel it off. And it takes just the top layer. And now you have sort of a little entryway in. I find that works the best. Get rid of that. All right. So when you decoupage, sometimes you get a lot of wrinkles in the tissue paper or in the napkin. A lot of that is from the water absorbing. So what works really well, and I'm going to look at this. So these are flipped upside down on the halves. So I'm just going to dry fit it this way. Okay. So what works super well is put your napkin upside down on a piece of plastic. And then we're just going to spritz the whole thing with water. And this helps the fibers stay a little smoother. They're already damp. Now I'm going to apply glue to my tag. This is my Mod Podge. That little hair out. Nope, put it right back in. Wipe him off. Oop. So we're just going to cover this. I don't think you'll see it through this napkin, but sometimes you will. I used one of my more inexpensive brushes with the glue. Do the same thing. I'll leave it down here though this time. Okay. So now I've got 2 tags. The easiest thing. So now I have this on my plastic wrap. I'm going to take the whole, this is a plastic bag. It's not plastic wrap. I'm sorry. And I'm going to put these fairly close. I'm going to lay these guys down right on here. And then I'm going to smooth out using the plastic. Now I kind of bunched when I went down. So this is me, not necessarily the paper. And then I can just kind of manipulate this. Oop, too hard. Just brush that back up on here. And I'm going to remove this. Put that back down to the side. And trim these guys off. And it isn't really wet, it's just damp. Snip these apart just to give them a little more freedom. Okay, and then we are going to let these guys dry. I'm going to press them down just a bit. I will use the Mod Podge. Just stick that down there for a hot second. Let's go back to our egg now that has dried a bit. A lot less sticky. Mod Podge does dry pretty fast. Let's see, I'll put this big flower right here. Okay. And I have a spot right there. Over here. Thin that out a bit. Just down with my finger. And we're going to go back to drying. Okay. There, we took most of the curl out of this now. And trim it down a little bit more. It's drying off. It's not so fragile. We're going to cut the little wispy ends. Now the other thing you can do is just let this dry completely. You could sand it off the edges if you prefer. Give it a little more of a distressed look. I have a little piece popping up here. We'll just give that a little more glue. I'll set this one down. I'm going to keep some of these chicks. I think I'm going to put them on an egg. Okay. Pretty good for a rough cut. Set them aside. I'm going to take a look at these chicks. We're going to grab another egg. And I'm going to see. This is what I did with the carrots. I think I'm going to make a tube. This is what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to cut sort of this row out right here. And I'm going to use that. It's like a band around the egg's middle. And then we'll fussy cut for the top parts. Glue back here on my right hand side. So that's a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm just gonna kind of pinch this up towards the top. To the bottom as well. I don't know if this is the recycled paper, but this feels a little more fragile than the carrot napkin did. So I'm just going to be a little more gentle on it. All right, we're going to let that one dry as well. Let's see. Probably dry enough. Switch spots. That way it won't roll. And let's do let's do a whole sheet again. Let's see how the carrots fit. I also have actually I want these blue ones. These are hydrangeas. We'll do the same thing. We're going to peel it. My tape. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to center this one like I did before. So I'm going to trim off that edge. And I think I'm going to use these as tag backgrounds, tags or journal cards. So we're going to do the same process that we did before. We're going to lay our napkin upside down on our plastic bag. This is a 1 gallon bag, just opened up, 1 gallon Ziploc. Spritz with the water. Half. Okay. Now I'm going to aim for this edge here. Tug. I'm not going to use my card. I think that was too rough with the other ones. All right. Got one fold again. That's mostly me. Okay. All right, I'm going to just set this aside. I'll bring it back in a second. Let me get it somewhere where it can lay flat. Okay, and then we have one more project that I want to try. I picked these rabbits up. This is at Target Dollar Spot. This one was $1. I found this one. It has the same sort of sticker on it, but it's $3. It was probably at Target a couple years ago. But I don't know for sure. That's just my guess. So I'm just going to take these off. And these are cement. And I like these blue flowers. I'm going to put some of these blue flowers on the bunny. First layer. Second layer. All right. So for this one, I'm going to fussy cut. I think I'm just going to put it kind of on his backside here. I'm just going to go in. Got a little section out here. Yeah, you can also, if you want, you can remove some of the paper, give you a feathery edge. Sometimes it's better than the harsh lines. You can use a paintbrush, a water pen, any of that, which I don't have pulled out, but I'm just going to get rid of some of these sharp edges, and they'll blend a little bit better on our item. Just the edge here. Just gently tease off some bits. All right. So I'm going to dry fit this. Yeah, let's try that. So I haven't tried this particular piece yet. Maybe I'll wet him down since he's cement, although he looks like he has a coating. Yeah, I like that. Thin this out just a smidge. And you can see how this is a little more wrinkly than when we apply water first, directly onto the paper. I do like it. All right, so that's that side. Let's cut another little section out for the other side. And feather the edges a smidge. Same thing, I'm going to wet them down and apply some glue so that this part is nice and wet so the napkin adheres. And I should have probably dry fit first, but that's how it's going to be. Around his little tail. I'm going to take my brush, sort of sweep it into the spots. So he's super cute. I think I'm going to leave his belly white, but I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a little bit of blue on his head. Let's take like that. Well, I like the idea, but I don't like that piece. Let me get another piece. I'm going to shape it a little bit better, I think. I like the idea of it coming down onto his nose. I don't want it to go on the inside of his ears. About like that. I'm going to just gently hold that up. Glue. Okay, and then finish the blue here. This one might be fine to do. Just gonna place down and just rip off. Ooh. All right, we'll try a different piece. What's nice is you get so many napkins. It's okay if you mess up. You get a lot of times to practice. Put this down quite a bit. I don't do that again. Let me let it hang there and dry for a hot second. And take off that big piece. Just blot a little here. Perfect. All right. All right, so it's drying still, but pretty cute. Whoop. I'm going to put this little blue on top of this little bit of green. Just to keep it good there. All right, we're going to set him aside to dry. Let's go back to our chick. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let me get a little chick cut out here, and we'll see if we can't use this as a topper piece. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of brown and fill in this gap. Okay. Let it dry again, and then I'm going to do the bottom one. Let's check our butterfly. This one's pretty good. Pretty dry. It's a little bit sticky. It needs probably a good 10 minutes or so yet. But he looks good. I do like him. So I have a couple of those. And go back to our tags now. So we have the little chicks here. I'm going to grab my hole punch. That out. Let me go grab some yellow ribbon. I'll also grab a sanding patch. And we'll sand around the edges. And I'll get some yellow ribbon. I'll be right back. I'm going to just put you on pause. Okay. I got some yellow. I got some purple ribbon. Got a little sanding pad. What you can do is around the edges, instead of using your scissors. This works pretty well. Show you on the other side here. And that's off in the front. It's just glue from the back when I set them down. And it takes it pretty much right off. Just clear my space here. We're going to distress the edges of this one. It'll also help hide any little rough edges. Oops. We'll fix that too. Okay. I'm going to put right here where I smushed it a little. Just fill it in so it's not so stark white. Back and get my edge. Okay. I've got this cute little polka dotted ribbon. That will be real cute. Give that a snip. Well, it's a bit wide, but I'm going to make it work. I'll work it through. Gonna give this one a cut as well. Okay. And I got the purple. The purple is a cute contrast. We also have just plain yellow. I'm going to try the purple because we already used the yellow. So maybe I'll double them. Use a little each. Oh, looks like I haven't used this yet. This yellow. And I get most of my ribbon at Michael's, although sometimes I do find it garage sales and bins and stuff, but yeah, that's cute with both the colors. Very Eastery. Got some texture in here. We've got some contrast. Trim up this edge. With that edge. Okay, so those are pretty much done. I might put a focal image on them. I'm going to put them under something, a book. Keep them a little smoother. Move my pins out of the way from my ribbons. And let's pull back our blue piece. It's been kind of drying here. It's pretty dry. I'm going to sand the edge off here. And we'll cut this one into journal tags. All right, it's still a little too damp for the for this, so we're just going to flip it back upside down on my cutting board here. On my paper cutter. And nope, too wet for that too. All right. Scissors it is. It's pretty damp right in this spot. This end is dry. This is a little damp right here. Let me trim this big patch off. Try my camera fairly well. Oops, sorry, bud. I'm just going to trim that. Not very evenly, apparently, but it's trimmed. And I am going to move my little bunny here. Sure you guys are on camera. I'm going to make a 3x4 journal card. Here's this end here. I just cut. Let that wetter piece continue to dry. And let's make this guy 3. No, I'm going to leave him a little bigger. I'm make him 4x5. And then I also have that one too. All right. I'm going to trim this one up, straighten it out a bit. Okay. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to corner around this. I'm going to also distress it. Grab my corner rounder. Same here. This little piece to trim. Okay. Take our distress ink. This little feathery edge right there. Okay. I'm debating whether that bothers me, and I think it does, so I'm going to just snip it off and then recut my edges. So we're just going to get rid of a little more of it. And all I suggest to you guys is just let them dry a little longer than I'm letting them dry here. You won't have such a fiddly project then, because they're slightly damp. They kind of want to detach a bit when I'm messing around with the edges. All right, so we've got those guys. We've got these guys. We have this guy, which we can make into more tags. We already did this. So for the different napkins, it's got buddies. So we'll use that as a journal cover. Got this one as well. I think what I'm going to do with this soft journal cover is I'm probably going to run a piece of lace down the side. Let it hang out and over. We've got our bunny. Let's make sure he's dry. He's still damp because he's thick, so the cement isn't soaking it in. So he's going to take a little longer, but I'll post him as well. We got one more egg. Let's finish this guy. We'll cut out another little circly chick here. I'm going to make this one a little wider. So I see that this one is a bigger spot here. I'll leave that little flower in. Okay. I think that's where we have to be. Now I could have cut snips into him, but it's such a thin medium that it just folds real nice over it. Tissue paper is a little thicker than the napkins, so you might want to, if you're using tissue paper, give it a few, and I like gussets, so to speak, or a couple snips so it just folds over on top of itself, angly, like a dovetail. All right, so that's that guy. I have a little white right here, but I will wait till he's completely dry, and I'll put another little strip in there. Okay, we'll let him dry. All right, so we could do this guy together or some more eggs, but I'm gonna sign off for now. I might make a blue egg as well, and then I will start the video back up when everything is dry for a closer look. See you soon. All right, a quick recap of everything that we've done. Just to show you, we'll start with the eggs. These are the ones that we did with the tissue paper. This is with the bunny napkin, the chick napkin. We have chicks on every end. The carrot we already did. And I like the way the hydrangeas came out. Super pretty. I like the blue and white. So those will go on our Easter display. I trimmed down the edge of the soft covers. Neatened this one up a little. I'll stitch some papers into them to make a journal. And then I took a piece of the tissue paper into one of those same journals that I used for the stamps. And I like that. Just a nice little spring cover. We made the tags together. And then I went back and made more paper with the tissue paper. So we've got a tissue paper tag. We've got the carrot tag. The hydrangeas. I think that's my favorite. But then I look at them all and they're all my favorite. So I like those. A little carrot belly band. And then we made some journal cards. We've got a little carrot, hydrangeas, wide carrot. This could go either orientation. Carrots again. This is that the tissue paper. A couple of those, a long hydrangea. And then this is how our bunny came out. We've got all the back and the tops here. So he looks real awesome. I really like how this guy came out. And that's everything. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.